What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay podcast. Back from a week's vacation here on episode 240, and that was totally a vacation on all of our parts, not just me sitting there going, you know what, guys? I'm kind of busy on our usual night recording, and I'm gone all day the next day, so I really just don't care. Okay, bye! And then leaving. But otherwise, we are here to talk State of Play because, oh god, all of a sudden we take a week off and everything's about to happen. So State of Play is literally next Tuesday, which, by the way, I will be streaming, to my detriment probably, but I will be streaming that. And then Summer Game Fest is what, the
week after?
Friday?
Next week?
Because State of Play is a Tuesday. I think Summer Game Fest is the Friday, and then I think Xbox is the Sunday.
Saturday. That's a Saturday, I think. Is it Sunday?
No, I think it's Sunday because I play baseball and I won't be able to make it.
Yeah. Saturday's like the IGN Live, Wholesome Direct.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff like that.
If I hadn't been playing ball on Sunday, I would have definitely been streaming all three of them. But instead, I might still, like, when I get back in the evening, I might still record myself watching it because it will be pretty easy for me not to get spoiled on anything. So I might even just do that and then upload the video for the morning or something like that. But we got a lot of stuff going on now. State of Play is the only thing that will happen before this show airs again because it's going to be Tuesday and we record Tuesday nights. So that'll be perfect then. So this show will just be predictions for that. We will work on Summer Game Fest and Xbox next week. We'll also cliff note the State of Play next week, but we'll probably just save most of it until the week after so we can just summarize all three. But if there happens to be something really important that shows up, you can't wait a week. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I don't know. I get the vibe, and we'll obviously do or start with what we've been playing in a minute, but I get the vibe with this week that this could be very interesting in the next week with all these streams. It can go either way. It could either be a whole bunch of nothing, and Kaylan's probably falling into that camp.
Don't do this to yourself, Adam. We do this every year. Don't do this to yourself.
Well, it's either going to be a whole lot of nothing because there just isn't anything ready still, and you never even know with how much is being pulled back to wait and see what the next generation of consoles is coming out for. But also, Xbox is suddenly on a good upturn. They've been doing very well recently. Sony seems to be understanding that it should probably just fall back to being what it's supposed to, which is just putting really good games on its first-party platform and nowhere else. And then PC is just going to PC, so what do they care? But Summer Game Fest can always be a decent amalgamation of it. I'm the least enthusiastic about it because last year proved that I should never have my hopes up for that. But I'm not going to say that I'm the most excited in a while, but I'm the most optimistic without being overhyped. You know, I'm more sitting here being all right, we're at least a little bit removed from all the dumb shit. There's probably no more cancellations coming down the line. There's no live service games coming down the pipeline now that Jim Ryan's gone. So maybe there's a shot that we might actually see some interesting shit that won't, die the next year. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, how y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm loving optimistic Adam.
Yeah, I'm not used to
vacation
this.
for
I played
a bit.
Mixtape. It's the best thing ever. I'm so happy.
I think it's because we took time off last week. All this vacation time has made you a new man.
Well, I mean, when you have life-changing butter tarts, it's kind of hard not to, so.
Any butter tart's a life-changing butter tart.
No, that butter tart was life-changing. There's this cafe in Toronto for those that, want to know. It's called Circles and Squares if you are in the Toronto area. It is... They have award-winning butter tarts, and I fucking understood why as soon as I took one bite of those. So I decided to go on a Toronto trip and just eat a bunch of food, and it was fucking worth it.
I love food.
Yeah.
Food is great, man.
I'm dealing right now. Our air conditioner is on the fritz, so yeah, working on getting
I'm trying
that
to
fixed,
keep as far as I can without turning mine on at this point.
No, I'm as a fat guy in May with no air conditioning. This is not a fun experience. I'm the one person who's hoping for another cold snap.
I was gonna say this is the first time really in all year though you've had to worry about this because May for the most part for us here has been actually pretty cold in all things considered.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. We had that one heat spell a couple weeks ago, and that's when we found out the air conditioner wasn't working. Now we're just waiting for a part, but it was nice to have that reprieve when
my first 2 weeks of baseball have sucked. So the first week a couple weeks ago was freezing cold. It was. Well, I shouldn't say freezing. It was 10 degrees but it was windy. So that sucked. And then I played this Sunday and it rained and the field has no way of cleaning that shit. So the entire infield was quicksand.
Fun.
Ooh. So I straight up said to everybody, I don't care if this game gets close. If I hit a ball in the ground, I am jogging to first because I am not tearing an ACL the second game of the season.
Yeah, not a great idea.
Enough Blue Jays have been injured this year. I don't need to add myself to the list of injured people in baseball. So you know what? I'm good.
I like how you make the comparison that you guys are together.
I mean, I sometimes play with a Blue Jays jersey on, so you know, it's almost like I'm part of the team.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, how many sports fans say like, "Yeah, we won"? It's like, no, you didn't. You
went to the bar and drank.
They're professional athletes at the peak fitness playing a sport. You're at the bar drinking and eating eating nacho cheese and chips.
We're all sitting there at the bar thinking like, "Damn, I would take a AAA baseball salary any day of the week."
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
But anyways, it's enough about the weather, food, and baseball. Let's
Everything
talk about
but
things
video
we've been
games.
doing.
Everything
Yeah, right?
but. This is a video game podcast. We promise.
You know what?
Sometimes.
I'll start us off because I got 2 reviews to give up here. So, you know when I was saying earlier in the year that like I've been really clamoring for some 10 out of 10s because like it's been killing me, and the mixtape came out, the best game ever. It's gonna be my running joke for the rest of the year. I don't care. Like I did rate it a 10, but it might as well just stick at this point. So.
Universally acknowledges a 10 out of 10.
But like that was a 10, and I've played 2 more 10s since then. Like it's just been banger after banger. I'll briefly say too, I'm 4 to 5 hours into Pragmata. I also see why that's getting really good ratings. So there's a shot of it being 4 10s in a row for me because I haven't dropped anything part ways. So it's been pretty good. Now I know a lot of people are going to sit there and be like, "Really, you think all these games are 10s?" My 10 isn't it's flawless, guys. Like my 10 is this is one of the best things I'm going to play all year. Like that's it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, yeah, I can literally pick every game apart, and I could probably knock everything down to an 8.5 if I really wanted to, but, like, the whole point of being a gamer is to fucking enjoy what you play, so why the hell would I try that hard to pick
That
it
doesn't
apart?
sound right.
Vacation Adam is scaring me.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Give it time. We'll see what happens after Summer Game Fest, all right? But I ended up playing 2 games. One that Kaylan will absolutely hate, so I'll save that. I'll save the best for last.
Nice. Spend more time on that one.
Oh, absolutely, I will. But the first thing I'll bring up is there was a game that I knew. I can't remember which. It was one of the I don't know if it was a Wholesome Direct or something like that, but it was called Inkombini, which is like a Japanese convenience store simulator.
Oh
kind of
yes.
game.
Yeah. That's on Game
This
Pass.
screams at him.
Yeah, and I didn't I knew that this was going to be a good chill game, so I was okay with that. What I didn't expect is how into it I got in terms of like organizing shelves and stuff. I sometimes forget just how OCD I can be.
You didn't think this would appeal to you? This is like the most Adam game
No,
I can
it's not that I didn't think it
of.
would appeal to me.
Literally.
It's that I wouldn't spend way too much time reorganizing shelves. Because
Oh,
like
come
you
on
don't
now.
have to do
You know,
that.
this is-
You can just do basic stuff and then get on with like the main quest of the game. But
This
like
is store
realistically,
manager. This is store manager, organizer, and Japanese. Like this could not be
As
more Adam unless there's
someone that played-
unless there's a romance option. That's the only way this could be more Adam-esque.
I will have you know, as someone who has played both TCG Card Shop Simulator and Retro Rewind, I did not spend that much time organizing either of those 2 games like I did this one. I do not
Because
know
it
why this one
wasn't
worked.
placed in Japanese.
Yeah, I think this is the trifecta.
You know what? That might be possible because I do wish that I could just walk into a Japanese 7-Eleven at times and just be like, "This is bullshit that we don't get anything like that here."
Oh, for sure.
what do you
I'm just
mean?
waiting
What do you
for
mean for $3 I can have this life-changing friggin' like cold noodles?
Adam cannot go to a Japanese 7-Eleven. Like they would be like, Master Mito-san, he's been here for 8 hours and he's just been working and he doesn't work here. He's just been stocking shelves. What do we do?
No, they would love me because I'd be coming back every couple hours to buy something else because I'm like, oh,
No, you wouldn't leave. You'd be stocking the shelves for them.
absolutely not. I wouldn't be doing that. Here's the thing. No, because I don't do that shit in real life. And 2, I wouldn't have to because they would already be well organized because it's a Japanese convenience store.
Fair.
That is fair.
But anyways, to make a long review actually be an actual review here, it's very much what it says it's going to be. It's a very chill game. The entire point of it is just you are this woman who is just there for a week and just covering for her. I think it's her aunt who is just kind of like taking a vacation, and it's more just like reconnecting with being. I don't know if she was like a city girl before. I can't remember from that much of the story, but like there's not a whole lot of story to it. It's more just like re-exploring yourself and kind of like finding, that things are the simple things are way more enjoyable in life. God only knows that that's not a fucking true statement, right?
Oh my god, that's another thing trope that Adam goes for.
Yeah.
The self-discovering coming-of-age story. Adam,
All right,
this is your
here's
game.
why this game is a 4 out of 10. No. But if I really put any complaints to, if I really wanted to, it's just that like the characters are fine. Like there's nothing special to it, but it's not supposed to be. It's the entire whole thing about this game is just a vibe check, right? So there's nothing too special about it. Like I said, the only thing that kept catching me off guard was just, at the start of it, they'll be like, here's some boxes you need to pack and like organize on the store, or there'll be certain things like, hey, we need you to make this order. And I'd be like, all right, cool, I'll do all these things. And then I'd finish all those, and then I'd be looking at the shelves being like, there's a fucking empty spot there. I don't like that. And then just spending another 15 minutes before I open the store to actually like reorganize things exactly the way I wanted to. And I'm like, man, I didn't think I'd go that far. I thought I'd do like basic, like, okay, here's just to make it look kind of neat, but then the amount of like extra time I spent thinking about stuff, I'm like, nope, that's way beyond my normal OCD, but you know what, I'll take it. But yeah, it's a 10. I think if you're just looking for something that's very chill, very relaxing, and if you're into those kind of job simulator kind of games, I think you'll get a kick out of it. The only thing that can suck is sometimes barcodes are a bitch to scan, because that's barcodes in real life, so maybe it was too realistic.
That is real life. That
true?
is real life. Oh, you can tuck in the chairs? Oh, that's dangerous.
Yep. It's little things like that. There's also, I want to say there's slight gacha mechanics, because there is a gacha machine outside with like the little capsule toys, but like, I'm sure there's achievements to that, so I mean, Chris would probably hate that, but who knows? I didn't go that deep into it.
You mean love. Chris would love to use the gacha game to get all the achievements.
Well, just like how we know I would hate this game, right? So
Exactly.
but that's the first one. All right, now to spend time on the thing that Kaylan will absolutely hate. So let's talk about another JRPG that I found. There we go. And Kaylan has left the room. Perfect. So, Chris, I don't know if you have heard of a game called People of Note.
No, I don't think so. I've not made note of it.
Perfect. So, I'm trying to think of the best, and it sucks that Kaylan's not here because it kind of takes the fun out of it, because, I wanted to actually listen to this. I didn't think he'd walk away for that long. Oh, no, I can see the shadow coming back. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right, perfect. He's back. I now can actually talk about this game. So yeah, it's called People of Note. The best way I can explain it is it's like if a rhythm mechanic game mixed with like a Pixar movie got put into a JRPG kind of setup, because it plays off a lot of, rhythm mechanics. Like there is timed hits. There's no time dodging like you would think in Mario RPG, but the entire game is focused on musicians. So every single city is based off of some type of music. So the place you start in is pop. There's a metal place. There's a punk place. There's a grunge place. There's an R&B. There's a EDM. And the songs, every single battle song that plays, the meter will sometimes lead into a direction that, oh, this is really good for the pop characters' attacks. So when that comes up, it kind of changes that song to a bit of a pop flair of that song, like a bit of a mashup to that. Or if the metal character comes up, it puts more of a, well, I shouldn't say metal, he's more of a rocker, but it puts more of a rock flair to it. And the thing that's just so good of this game, and this is why it's a 10 out of 10 for me, is if there's any way to get me to love a game, it's to overrun me with puns so hard that even with my brain, I roll my eyes. The amount of music puns in this game is absurd. Like, for example, all the clothing, weapons, abilities, they all have some sort of a reference to something. There's a clothing called the Lincoln Parka. Like, that's the extent that they go to. And my favorite thing is there are trivia collectibles that are hidden around the game. There's 20 of them. More achievement stuff for Chris. He'll love this. And when they're summoned, they give you like 4 characters that you have to attack one of them with the correct answer to get their feather, and it's an owl. They're called Weird Owls.
Yep.
Boo.
But yeah, like there's and it's a shorter game. Like I want to say somewhere in like the low 10s. It's very well condensed. It doesn't take too much time out, and each area is pretty well like balanced. Like there's not one that's like dragging too much. The only thing I would say is I did have to turn the accessibility options for the puzzles off, so just skip them at the very end, because it started getting to a point where I'm like, I don't need to play some really convoluted puzzle here at the end at this final dungeon. I'd rather just get to the end of this now. But like the puzzles for the most part in the main early dungeons are actually pretty fun, and I like them a lot. It's just by the end, I think they thought we need to ratchet this up so that it makes it seem like it's a really big final dungeon. And I'm like, yeah, but the puzzles didn't need to be stupid hard, guys. It's okay. But in terms of the battle mechanics, in terms of the character design, the voice acting is really good. But my favorite thing, and they're hit and miss in terms of the songs themselves, but when there's big cutscenes in the game, they're all like Disney sing-along song kind of stuff, like they're music videos. So every time you're introduced to a new character or a new world, you're guaranteed that there's going to be at least one song that character has a sing-along with, and sometimes they mash up with somebody else. Like one of the final songs is you and the final villain like having an argument together and like talk, like you're trying to woo the villain back onto the good side and he's just having none of it, and it's just the two of them like singing at each other instead of having that like final confrontation. And some of them work really well, some of them don't, but I love the idea that they took something so different in how they handled their cutscenes. Like they really went hard on the fact that this is a music JRPG to the point that the cutscenes are music videos, they're songs. So like they really went hard on that whole thing. Although I will say my other favorite thing is the battle system, even when I played it on easy, because I don't bother with difficulties anymore because I have too much shit I want to get through. Even on the easiest difficulty, I found myself not just attacking. This wasn't a hit A to win thing. There was a lot more strategy with these games. So there's the stanza, and you have, based on the time signature, it shows how many attacks you have and how many attacks the enemy will have. And there are things you can do to kind of mess around with stuff. Like there are things you can do that make this part of the stanza have more attack power, or based on the accessories and the skills that you can add on characters, similar to like what Materia does in Final Fantasy VII. You can give them the idea of, okay, well, this person, if they attack with this skill on the last bar of their stanza, it does extra damage. Or if it's the first attack on the stanza, it does extra damage. So there's way more of just, it's not just attack or use strongest spell. Now, I did find ways to break it a little bit, but for the most part, like especially towards the end, I found myself like actually spending time stopping and going, okay, I need to do around 300-400 damage if I want to kill this boss. What can I finagle around to get this done, or am I going to have to defend a little bit to kind of get through one more turn of this? And the fact that I had to do that, when in most JRPGs, I never do that. Like, I'm never the status effect guy, or I'm never the guy that's like, all right, I need to boost this, I need to take their defense down a little bit. No, it's just always like, hit until they fucking die.
The Pokemon strategy.
Yeah, and in this case, I'm like, no, I'm going to use Sand Attack, or I am going to use Confuse. Like, I am going to do stuff like that. And I appreciate that, and it didn't feel like I was being forced because it was too hard, or I didn't feel like, there were only a couple of abilities in the entire game that I went, I don't need you. But, like, I'd say, like, each character by the time I finished the game, it's somewhere around, like, 12. And I'd say that I at some point experimented with, like, 9 of them on every single character. So, like, I was using almost every ability that they had to some aspect and finding which ones worked really well for me. So I really appreciated that. I just love that this game knew what they were going for and decided to go full bore into that and made something that I think is one of the most unique JRPGs I've ever played. And to do that I actually think, I know Kaylan still wouldn't like this, but I think this is probably the closest I could find to something that's approachable.
No, this is actually really cool. Like, this is not my style of game and stuff like that, but I think using like a rhythm music-based kind of backdrop is a really cool idea and a really cool setting to play with.
It's pretty inclusive with a lot of genres. Like, this level that we're in right now is like the first area, and it's like a K-pop club. So like there is that for those folks. I'm very happy the villain, like one of the villains towards the end is like country music, so I'm very appreciative that, the dastardly country music ends up being a fucking like villainous character. My other favorite thing is it's not just songs that they reference. There is some like game or anime referencing into it, to the point that one of the bosses does go Super Saiyan, and they call him he's going super singing.
Nice.
No.
And like one of his attacks was because it's one of the country guys, his attack was Kamehameha.
Oh my god.
So like the amount of time, and then again, I love puns. The amount of times that I would just be like, because I was playing it in a Discord for most of it, and every once in a while I'd be like, God damn it. And somebody would look over and be like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And we all just have to be like, That's so good, but it's so bad. Oh my god. But yeah, no, and visually it's fantastic. Like, everything looks really, really cool. I actually like the first world a lot because it has like this... The best way to explain it to Chris is take New York City and mash it with Xanarkin from like the beginning of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I could vibe with it. I could vibe with that.
So like there's some cool shit in there. This is one of the easiest 10 out of 10s. This might actually be slated to be my favorite game so far as we head into June. So like, yeah, I mean, as much as I can joke the mixtape is the best game of all, I think this is actually the one that I've enjoyed the most out of everything I've played. Scott Pilgrim's up there too, but I haven't played this with friends yet, so it hasn't hit that level still, as I've only played it on my own. Maybe if I do play with friends and really get to go ham on it, maybe Scott Pilgrim kind of flip back into that spot. But right now, this is easily the best game I've played all year because it takes a genre that I have been so oversaturated with and actually made it seem like this is a completely new experience to me. So
cool.
Very cool. Definitely I want to give that a go. Not going to lie. It looks like a Steam Deck game.
And the music in that game fucking slaps. Like, all the battle music is fantastic. There's one in a forest one that's like an Irish jig. And when mashups happen with that, like especially when the rock one comes in, oh, it's so good. If it wasn't for Demon Tides being so damn good with Too Mellow doing the soundtrack, Chris, this would have been the Earworm game, but I don't know what's beating Demon Tides. That soundtrack in that game is so fucking good. It's so good for like beats. It's so perfect. But yeah, I can't say enough good things. If anybody is even remotely interested in JRPGs, this is a game you should look at. And again, Annapurna, just they understand which ones to publish. They're so good at finding the right ones to publish.
Yeah, like their Game of the Year mixtape.
Yep. All right, Kaylan, you know what? You go for it, since we got to balance up my terrible taste with yours. So,
guys, mark your calendars. It's another big day in the year 2026. Kaylan beat a video game.
I mean, you've been dealing with Mass Effect. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
Yeah,
this is like fourth game,
something
Third?
like that. Something like that.
Wow.
He's on a streak, man.
Streak.
Yeah, so I finally beat Saros. I really enjoyed the game.
I will say, I'm shocked that A, you played it before the rest of us, and B, finished it. So that tells me how good
I played it before you guys.
Because it didn't sound... Well, at the time, like, I don't think we were expecting you to get way into it because I don't think Returnal was that interesting to you either.
No, Returnal was not in it. So
that's what I mean. Is like if you had asked like 6 months ago when Saros was like really getting close to release, of us being like, okay, who's going to be the one to play it and finish it first? I think you were at the bottom of the list.
So the thing I like about Saros more than Returnal, what turned me off of Returnal, is the amount that it asks of you. Right? It is a hard game and very little of your progress carries over, and you are expected to play these long runs. With Saros, it was great. My average run was running about 30 to 40 minutes.
Eased off.
100%. And this is what I want to say. Like, first off, if you are on the fence about Saros and you're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not huge into the difficulty and stuff, the first thing is, like, there's this whole conversation with, like, Elden Ring and like, FromSoft games about, like, hard games need to be hard. No. Like, Housemarque has figured out the solution to this, and what they've done, and I talked about it previously in some of the other episodes, was the idea that you can like put modifiers on this game. So initially I was playing, like, they have a choice where, like, when you put modifiers, you can either make modifiers and make the game harder, and those, like, it has a balance meter, and if you put hard, it increases the balance meter to the right. But then there's also, but it won't let you go too much without balancing out by adding other things. So you typically had to keep it within plus or minus 3 of like the base game difficulty by changing the modifiers. I played the game for the most part that way until about maybe the second last biome, in which case there's an option that you can actually turn off those bumpers in terms of how much you can modify the game, and you could like have every modification to make it easier or harder to your heart's content. So I never did anything that was that changed the game drastically. I always kept like the original ones that I used was like increased damage by a bit, decreased damage taken by a bit, and I was able to get full health when I went into a boss area, and that was considered balanced for the game. Like it was like, yeah, you're still within the balanced territory, you're fine. But afterwards, I changed a couple of parameters in that, like, there was no negative modifiers on my, or negative traits on my modifiers when I was in a corrupted zone and stuff. So, like, just stuff that changed how the game played, but didn't change the difficulty. I did change it towards the end, and I actually enjoyed it that way. It went from being, like, it started feeling a little bit like a Doom Dark Ages kind of feel, where it was a bullet hell, but I necessarily wasn't the most overpowered, but I was at least like on an even playing ground, and that's how I finished the game. So I really enjoyed it. From a gameplay perspective, the bullet hell is like, no one does it better than Housemarque, and that's awesome. The guns are really cool. I like the character. I like, going through the world and fighting it. The thing that discourages me with this game, or the thing I don't like about this game, is the narrative. I couldn't tell you the story at all of what happens other than just the basic premise, but I have very little idea of what the hell happened. I feel like there was a lot of mysteries or a lot of aspects that were ignored, erased, never became anything. And so I was disappointed with the story to the point I stopped caring what was happening, and I was just going through for the sake of saying, I beat this biome, I beat this level, but I didn't care what was happening at any point.
Yeah, and I don't even get the sense, even from what I played of Returnal for like the first 3 dungeons before I kind of had to give up on that. I don't think necessarily that those games need to have like this amazing story. It's more of like, it just needs to be a vessel for the gameplay that you're going, which I think is the big selling point of these games to begin with.
Agreed. But the one problem I have is that apparently I was like trying to figure out what was happening in the story, and I missed cutscenes. So this game is weird in that, like, if you don't get out of the biomes in a certain area and you continue run, which the game encourages you to do, because as you do a run, like if you start at the beginning and you build up and up and up and up, you become more and more powerful, that like you can get to the final, like you get more overpowered for the biomes because you start at the very beginning versus just jumping in at the biome that your current objective is at. So it encourages you from a gameplay perspective to stay in as long as possible, but narratively you would miss out on content if you didn't get out of the run at the time that they wanted you to. So I missed cutscenes that explain things that happened. And so I thought that was just like,
you mean because you didn't spend enough time in a place, or you didn't?
No, because I left. I didn't leave. So like, if I was finishing a biome and they're like, "Hey, go back to your home base called Passage or whatever," I would be like, "No, you know what? I've got a good run going. I've got good modifiers. I want to keep going."
I see. Okay.
I would then miss a cutscene because I was just doing runs. But gameplay wise, it encourages me to start at the beginning and do long runs, not go back to Passage, because when you go back to Passage, you lose all your modifiers, you lose all your items and stuff, with the exception of like you don't lose your basic skills that you pay for, but like you lose any sort of modifiers that you had in that run, and your gun goes down to like a basic level. So it discourages you from getting out of the biomes, but narratively they expect you to get out of the biomes. So it was kind of like, oh. So I thought that was an odd choice.
That is an odd choice to lose out on like major story cutscenes. Shouldn't be possible unless you literally pause the game and select to skip cutscene. Like that's the only time that should happen.
And it's kind of frustrating too, because like there's such a perfect like blueprint for what that's supposed to look like, because Hades does it so tremendously well, where like no matter how many times you fail, you find new stuff. Like when you play Hades or Hades 2, like there's no shortage of dialogue, and even if you've like failed the same run 30 times, there's still somehow something new. So it's like it's not a case of in those games of like you can miss content. It's more of a case of it's just no matter how bad you are, they always find like something small to kind of just add into things. Like you're never going to miss anything, and then they're just constantly complimenting it. Yeah.
So like that's just all to say, like the narrative drive isn't there. So if you're looking for this as like a narrative story, it's not worth it. But if you're looking for a fun and I would say accessible bullet hell game, I have no reason not to recommend Saros. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be assuming a bullet hell game being a story-driven piece, so that's not a surprising.
I'm not saying it has to be a great story, but even a coherent story, that's why I knock it. Like I'm not saying that I'm not looking for pinnacle writing like The Last of Us, but I'm looking for like something. But yeah, no, do not let the game's difficulty dissuade you. You only have to get through the first 2 biomes to be able to modify the game and its difficulty. Or I've heard that if you die after a certain amount of times, it'll allow you to just skip that and modify the game right away. So difficulty is not something you have to be worried about in this game. You can make it very accessible.
That's good, because that was my one worry. For
and it makes sense too, because like the idea of the first couple biomes will be to get you like by the time that you finish there anyway, like you'll finally have been adjusted to the controls, so you'll know even what modifiers are really going to work for you anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm doing that, and then other than that, I think Chris, if I might be stealing your thunder, but I started playing Forza Horizon. Were you going to talk about that?
I will a bit, yes.
I'm going to let you go.
I don't think Chris would have anything to say about that.
Yeah, if you're on our Discord, he's talking about it like crazy. But I tried playing it. It's not bad. I have no criticisms of it in terms of like it's a problem or a bad game, but the hooks just aren't in it for me. Like, I don't find the game controls super fun. I find it the vehicles, all the vehicles I've used, super finicky, and I'm constantly fishtailing wherever I drive. That I'm not having fun. And then I feel like the game control schematics is pretty limited in that you can basically accelerate, brake, and handbrake, and that's kind of the extent. Which, it's a car game, I get that, but it's not captivating enough for me. Similarly, I find like the Japanese, I'm going to say this, and right now this is like a bad example, but like, I find the Japanese location is kind of wasted in a little bit. Like, it doesn't feel super Japanese. Like, it feels like if I'm driving through Tokyo, cool, I'm driving through a city. Oh, I'm driving through the countryside. And like, there's nothing that's like feels Japanese in that sense. Like, all the players are all like English speaking people with like English accents and stuff, or American accents. And I went on this like one drive, like, we're gonna take a scenic drive, and I'm like, but I can't see any of the scenery because, one, I'm driving past at 90 miles per hour, and two, the camera is not set to like a 360 scope. It's either I look far left or like hard right, hard left, behind, or straight. So like, I'm trying to see these things, but I'm trying to keep up with the cars, and it's like, this isn't super fun. So yeah. Chris, I know you've had a very different experience, so I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so I guess I can just hop right into it, because this is the main game I'm going to talk about. I have played, I just want to say that this is the weirdest week for me, because my 3 potential Game of the Year games are all releasing within a week of each other. And I did grab all 3 of them.
Yeah, because First Light's reviews are really well put together so far.
Yeah, and technically I could have played that today because I pre-ordered it on Steam just so that I could have it installed just to play, and you get 24 hours early access. So I installed it today, and I loaded it up and started playing with the settings, but I never actually started it. So there is that
True
one.
PC player right there.
Yeah, true PC. Backlog man. That's what it is. And I grabbed Coffee Talk Tokyo too and played through the first day of that. I won't have much to say of that yet. So yeah, my 3 Game of the Years are coming out. Plus, I also 100%ed the actual Game of the Year, which is Mixtape, obviously. I actually got every achievement and went through that whole game. So that was a fun experience, but I don't have anything to add to that either because of what Adam said about it in our last episode. But yeah, I put a ridiculous amount of hours into Forza. Normally a new game comes out and I'm like all over the place, and I'll get in the first week like, I don't know, 5-6 hours into a game and a couple hours in other ones. I've put about 25 hours already into this game in like a single week. And that's with like having my mom's birthday here on the weekend and working on my backyard and like real life stuff. So
man,
yeah, all of my free
kids.
Yeah. I have put all of my free time into this game, and I am absolutely obsessed. I still stand by that this is, for me personally, not for everybody, this is like my favorite modern game, like game series of all time. This beats, you want to talk about Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man, Halo, Gears of War, any of the big AAA games, Assassin's Creed, anything like that. This, for me, this series is my number one. Like, it has been since I played 4 back when I first got my Xbox Series X, and it just keeps surprising me and accelerating through that, pun intended, I guess, every single time I play one of these. There's just something about the vibe of it, like, I'm not a car guy. That's the crazy part about this. Like, I am not some guy that has pictures of cars on my wall or has any desire to like get an old car and work on it. I do that with my car. That's in the interest of saving money, not out of fun. But there's something about this game. I all of a sudden I'm Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious, and I'm all about family. And yeah, no, it's just this crazy, I don't know. It's just the concept of a car festival that goes to a country seemingly about every 4 years with a game release. It's like the World Cup of cars, and there's just all this crazy stuff going around in a location. And there's so many options. Like, you want to just drive around by yourself and just drive around and do stunts and get points? Cool, go do it. You want to go and just join a bunch of different races on the map? Go ahead. There's street racing, there's off-road, there's drift races, there's danger signs where you just do a jump to see how far you can go without trashing your car. There's drag races where just straight on like an airfield strip, and it's like who can get to the end for, right at the fastest there. There's just so many different things that you can do, not including the showcase races, where it's like in every game, they've always got something crazy. Forza Horizon 4 still has my favorite one where you raced a train, because it still was pretty realistic, where a train, it takes a bit to get going, but then it doesn't ever need to stop. And, they had all these cinematic moments where you had to like be ahead of the train to cut across the tracks, or else you would definitely lose the race because you get stuck as the train had to keep going and all this stuff. Like, so many cool moments. And this game has definitely kept that up, as the video and trailer of this game is shown, where you go against a giant Gundam and the two of you race.
They understood the assignment.
They understood. Huge. Another thing they understood with the assignment for it being in Tokyo is they have all the radio stations, and they actually carry over from each game. Like, the DJ of the radio stations are actually the same people each game, or at least they have been for the last 3. So if you want Bass Arena, which is what I leave it on, it's all like very bassy, like kind of dance music. They added a channel called Gotcha, and it's all in Japanese, the entire thing. So Adam, you'll love it, because my first race I had that one on, and it was a baby metal song, and it was just going hard, and I'm just like rocking out. I've got the volume on my soundbar under my TV turned up to like crazy levels. But yeah, like, it just knows how to get the hype going for me with this kind of stuff. And as well, it's just such a good social experience too. When you're playing the game on the map, there's like 99 other people just driving around as well on your map. And they're not doing anything. Like, they're not competing against you or anything like that. You're just seeing where they're going and what they're doing. And sometimes you'll just be driving and you'll just see a car fly back past you and just take out like a whole forest worth of trees, just because they're doing some crazy shit and it just happens to go across your screen. There's stunt things where like you go, there's a giant blimp that you go, and it's like you and again, like, I don't know how many people, I think like 50, and it's like, all right, as a team, get this amount of points doing this. And like, I did one where it was in the mountains, where it's a ski lodge or like a skiing area, and it was literally like getting jump points. So it's like, drive as fast as you can down the ski jump and drive your cars off of it and see who, if you as a team you can get enough points. So you got 50 cars all doing the same shit, and it just looks like wild and crazy. You can actually race against people if you want. You don't have to. There's some co-op stuff you can do, like, or you can just enjoy that there's other people on the map, or just set it to play solo and you don't want anybody there. Even when you do something like, there'll be a speed trap, which is just like a speed camera, and it's actually like get as fast as you can go and go past the speed camera, and the higher you go, you can get like 1, 2, or 3 gold stars. When you get it, it shows you what you got, and it's like, hey, you got 2 gold stars, this is what you got. And then it just grabs somebody from your friends list who did better, and it just goes like, but this friend actually got this. And it's like, fuck, well, now I have to do better because my buddy Eric did really good and was able to get 20 more miles per hour than me at that speed camera. Yeah, there's just so much to do. There's collectibles on the map that are actually fun to get, like experience boards. There's mascots that you destroy. They're all food. So there's 200 little food statues that you have to drive through. And if you get them all, I know there's an achievement for it, so I'm definitely aiming for it. But you also get experience, which levels up your character. And then once your character levels up, you get a wheel spin. And it might be a free car. It might be money. It might be a new horn for your car. There's so much cool stuff that they've just thrown in here to make it probably the only live service game, like live service if this counts, that I ever want to actually spend time in. Like, I still play Forza Horizon 4 and 5 periodically. I have 4 installed on my Steam Deck because it's a bit older and runs really well on there. I hop in. That one's in the UK. I just drive around and do a bunch of the races and do the other stuff and continue the game there all the time. So, I don't know. I just love it. And they definitely have one last thing I'll mention that really solidified this for me. You can change your car horn, and you can do things like get the Halo horn for the Warthog. You can get a bunch of different sounds, some that sound like traditional Italian classic horn from the 1950s. Perfect, it's there. Or you want a Halo horn. You can actually get the call ring from Microsoft Teams, as your horn.
Oh my God.
And people are going around during work hours driving up behind people and then doing it, and apparently people who are literally working from home and are at work are getting freaked out that they're getting calls. It's like Microsoft knew what the heck they were doing with that, because I think that's really, really funny, and I'm working on unlocking that horn right now because I think that's just too funny. It's the only time I actually want to hear the Microsoft Teams call.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that I'm looking forward to getting to at some point. The only thing that's keeping me from it is I want this to be the first game I get a racing wheel for. So
Yes.
I'm waiting for the right moment to do that. So, I mean, granted, with how many things are in my backlog already that I'm getting to, it's okay. I can wait. I'll wait for a good deal and it'll be fine. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and this game is gorgeous too. Like, I have it on PC where I can turn a few things up. I put one picture in our Discord, so definitely go in
yeah,
and
my plan is to play this on
look at
PC
that.
as well.
Holy crap. Like, I just parked my car in this one area. I didn't purposely go there. Like, Kaylan and Adam, you saw the screenshot.
Yeah.
That's how my car fell from, like, a mountain, because I was doing stunts and stuff, and it just landed there, and I was like, this is very beautiful. I'm going to take a screenshot. And then after I took it, I was like, damn, this looks good. Like, man, these games can just really get up there. Yeah, I'm never going to do like a racing wheel. You can set it to like more simulation where it's like a standard and do all the shifting. I just leave it in the normal
Yeah,
controls.
no.
And
We got a friend that kept saying, "Oh, you got to get a stick shift with this." I'm like, dude, I'm not that crazy.
No, and Kaylan, the cars that you do start with, absolutely, they're like the D class and stuff. Their handling is like a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You learn to either just survive those races until you upgrade your cars, or do what I did, where you had a save file from Forza Horizon 4 and 5. So as soon as I turned on the game, it just threw me the supercars from those games as a gift. And I had a car that was like 10 acceleration, 10 speed, 9.4 handling. And I like that thing just flies. It's
Perfect.
like a concept car from Mercedes. Like, I'm not a car guy, but if this was a real festival, I would get in a plane and go tomorrow. Like, I would just go. I think a lot of people would die, though, in truth, if this was a real festival. The things that they pull off.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, bye, Chris. Thanks for
We
coming.
lost him. I guess he didn't want to be here anymore.
He's gone to play Forza.
Probably.
Well, should we just move to the topic of the show?
I suppose we should. Yeah.
Show must go on.
I was about to
Rest
say,
in
well,
peace,
what else
Chris.
have we been playing? I'm like, well, wait, he's not here.
Moment of silence for Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Shame.
Yeah. All right. State of play.
Yeah, state of play. I'm real. Like, I know that we were joking. Like, okay, don't get your hopes up too high. I'm very curious on what this is because it's another state of play that's 90 minutes, at least. And the fact that they're doing these like local viewing events at like I think they're Alamo Draft Houses is what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's unusual the amount of like extra they're putting into this. So it leads me to believe that like this should be another meaty one. I would assume. I mean, granted, it's also during Summer Game Fest week. Xbox literally a week later is going to put theirs in. You kind of want to get the jump on them because we know things are going to be good. Oh, he's back! Damn it!
You lost your spot, Chris. We moved on.
I could hear you guys. I was here, but just my computer was like, no, you're not. So
It didn't like you
Well-
talking badly about teams.
That's all right. We
Yeah,
didn't.
it
We
did-
didn't want like it was like all right, Chris. There's enough glazing for it, so we know. But yeah, no, I'm fully anticipating that the state of play is going to be. I'm not going to say like the best one, but I think this should shape up to be one of the better ones that we've seen. Similar to what the last one was, where it was actually pretty good. So that's at least my instinct.
I'm inclined to say it's going to be big. Whether it's good, that's a question. Like,
Well, that depends. How many live service games are still existing at this point, right?
right? And like, but
Like
also
we know
how,
Horizon Hunter Gatherers is going to be there. Like
Yeah.
we know.
But it's a question of like also how deep are they going on all these games, right? Like Summer Game Fest is always 2 hours
Yeah.
long and could be 30 minutes.
Because like we know like Horizon Hunter Gatherers has got to be there because they need something to show off. Marathon is
They've-
going to get something because I know Season 2 just got a cinematic trailer as we
Yeah.
recorded this today. So I would imagine there's more
Yeah.
on that. And I mean, they spent the fucking massive amount of money they did on Bungie, so they're going to have to push it.
Yep.
yeah, especially with Destiny 2 officially being
Well, it's their one big live
Like-
service game right now. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the one big thing they got. The other thing that I would say is like probably we're going to see something of is the Helldivers 2 Warhammer crossover since that was announced, but
Yes.
nothing has been shown yet. So
yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
out of all the things that like are obvious, like nothing big. Like I'm not even assuming anything big yet. It's those three things. We should see another team from Tokon Fighting Souls. I assume the villains will be because it's if this is your big one, you're not gonna pull out Ghost Rider's team. You're gonna pull out the villains. That's a big one.
Yeah, you got to.
And then we assume we're going to get another gameplay trailer, like a much more in-depth gameplay trailer of Wolverine. That would be my assumption.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Well, they said Wolverine's going to be there. So.
Oh, I didn't even read that far into it because I'm trying really hard to not look into these things, so that way I'm pleasantly surprised when I do see stuff. So
that's really.
I think
that's
that was
the only thing they
confirmed
confirmed is going to be there.
Okay.
Like, so I imagine that Wolverine will probably be a 20-minute deep dive kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured
like,
James Bond will be there. Like 007's going to be there.
5 minutes of gameplay, and then like there's interviews with people on the team, and
yeah. Like I said, I think 007's going to be there because it's coming out tomorrow. So like, they'll have a moment where they're like, "Hey, check out the James Bond game."
Yeah, maybe throw. I mean, maybe they won't because it'll been a week. So who knows? Maybe they just don't have time for it. Maybe there's other stuff, but like who knows?
Yeah.
The only other like thing I'm pretty sure we would see something of is the next thing with Ken Scars of Cosmora.
Yeah.
I would assume there's something more of that.
Oh.
After that, I'm not sure.
So I have two pie in the sky kind of wishes, kind of predictions. Mm-hmm. I think we finally see something about intergalactic.
That was one of my shot in the
I wrote
dark.
that down too.
I said like the maybe is that it's going to get shown to some respect. My shot in the dark is it gets announced for fall next year.
I think it's get announced for fall next year. Not necessarily, because it may not.
It's either going to be fall next year or like March 28.
But Sony doesn't really do a fall game. Like even Wolverine is like.
Well, Spider-Man was October.
That was like 2 years ago, though.
No, but you know what I mean, though. It's like fall is not an uncommon release. And GTA 6 is finally coming out this year, so it'll be safe next time.
Do you think we actually see... Do you think Sony dropped the money for GTA 6 trailer in their...
I wouldn't be surprised.
They would be
It would be very smart of them to do that.
They would be smart.
I don't think Jeff would, because I don't think Rockstar would care to be like, we don't need to be on your show. We can go show off somewhere else where they'll actually pay us.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be on all of them. If GTA 6 showed up on Sony's, like it's also at... maybe even in the Xbox One, but at Summer Game Fest too. But Sony gets it first, and then Sony can also show off the
too, that with
PS5
GTA
Pro
5,
features.
GTA 5 had like the first bit of like I think they were the first ones to go online too or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like there always could be something to it where Sony just says fuck it, here's some money, let's do some fun with it. But Microsoft is also in a bit of a spot where actually no, they wouldn't throw money at this stuff. They don't have the fucking money to do it.
Well, I don't think they need to, right? I mean, but this is the thing, like. GTA doesn't need anybody. Like they could literally announce they're coming out with their own gaming console that just plays GTA, and it'll outsell all the other consoles.
Yeah, I think I'd buy it.
Yeah, but you just went out for milk. So yeah, I think like there's I don't. That's kind of like pie in the sky. But I think the ones that I think we're going to see is I think we're going to see like either a narrative trailer or a gameplay trailer of Intergalactic with a release date. And then I think we see what Sony Santa Monica's doing, like that space game that they're working on, because they've been kind of done since God of War 2020, which was in 2022.
Santa Monica's working on a space thing. Have I missed that?
It was like a rumor a long time ago, but like there's been a couple of projects.
Okay.
Yeah, there's supposedly 2 projects on the go at Sony Santa Monica. One is the God of War Egypt maybe thing that's happening. And then there's another one that's supposed to be like Cory Barlog making some sort of space sci-fi game. Whether that's still going, I don't know. But
I thought the rumor going around was like along with the trilogy remake is that there was potentially an offshoot one with Faye that they were working on.
Maybe. Anyways, I know that Sony
there's a lot of different stuff that could be going on with them.
I think, but I think they have 2 games going, so I think we see one of their games come out because it's been at least 4 years since we've seen a game. I don't think we're gonna get one instantaneous, but I think we're at the point now where we hear. What are they working on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. That's a good one.
There's definitely a lot of like unanswered questions that we got because like Bend is still a studio and they haven't been doing anything for a while. So like you gotta wonder like what's going on with some of these places and there's got to be something coming, right? Like the one thing I've been curious is like a big shot in the dark is Media Molecule. Like, what the hell have they been up to?
Dreams. They made Dreams.
Like. Do we finally get a Little Big Planet 4? Do we finally get a whiff of that?
See, I don't think we do because like there was already a Little Big Planet on the PlayStation 5 and it kind of just came and went.
Was there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Yeah,
Oh, right. I didn't... Who made... I don't think it was Media Molecule that did that, though, was it?
No, it was it Banzai?
Let's see. Let me check here.
I can't remember who made
Oh,
it.
Sumo.
Sumo.
Oh, Sumo.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like the Sackboy IP, like as much as I love it, and it's like got a special place in our heart here in my family's household. I don't think it's a big IP that like I think they would divert their attention now towards Astrobot. And kind
Well,
of
the only
higher
thing
Sackboy.
you can make a justification for is what if they just started making smaller experiences to just kind of like add some more stuff to the catalog, or if they say screw it, Media Molecule, make an Astro Kart racing game. Let's go.
They could.
I mean,
Chris
yeah,
isn't opposed
I
to
could
it.
do that.
That's a low bar though. I think like we also see like
Yeah,
we're gonna see
it
that
is.
God of War trilogy remake that'll probably come out and you'll see some.
I don't
movement
know
there.
because they literally just announced it. I actually think that there's a pretty good chance that we don't hear anything about that because they only just like literally.
Did we get a
Yeah,
release
I
date
think
when
that
that was
too.
coming out?
No, like the
No.
perception was that it was
It was
literally
an
just being
icon.
announced. Like they were
It was
just
the title.
starting the production of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
right there.
I have a feeling that probably won't be.
But I'm trying to think like who else.
I got-
Yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah. So go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was going to ask a completely
it's good.
separate
Go for it.
question. Yeah. I was going to ask if either of you think that Sony's going to hold the tradition it had last time with having some sort of shadow drop. Now, it didn't go probably as well as they were hoping because they had that God of
Oh,
War
Sons of Sparta.
Sons of Sparta, which I have, and it's going to take me a long time to get back to, but
I can see them doing a
Wonder
shadow
if
drop,
what-
but I don't think it's going to be anything consequential.
The Shadow Drop is fair games.
Yeah.
We're just like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God it's finally out and we can just stop talking about it.
yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know what the shadow drop would be, because obviously it's a shadow drop. It's not something we already know about, but I don't know. I can't even think of something they'd be working on in secret that would be small enough
Infamous
to kind of
remake.
just drop like that.
I mean that is.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be sick. I would love that so much. I miss the first Infamous game a lot. I love that game.
Well, I'm trying to think of like the studios that we know. So we know Insomniac's making Wolverine. Housemarque just put out Saros. Maybe there's Saros DLC. I don't know.
We might hear about that. That's a maybe though. I wouldn't. I think it might be too early, but at the same time, who knows?
Blue Point's closed. Right. Haven Studios kind of doing their own thing. No, Haven Studios closed.
Because like Fire Sprite's just doing like the VR stuff, I think. So we don't really know what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Gorilla,
And I doubt
maybe
we'll get
there's a
much
shot that
VR
we
news.
hear like an inkling like Horizon 3's in production, but like I doubt that.
I
to
feel
be
like
honest.
I don't know if they would do that because they're focused on that live service game, right?
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the same time, they talked about God of War getting redone and then popped out Sons of Sparta, so who knows?
Like the real one that we don't know is we don't know what Ben's doing, and I don't think they're gonna make another Days Gone. So like they could do something weird.
There's always the chance too that like
Yeah.
maybe because Naughty Dog's working on Intergalactic, maybe they said, you know what, you guys go make an Uncharted game, like go have fun.
Ooh.
I would love that.
I mean,
I would kill
it's
for another
prime for another
Uncharted game.
Uncharted game. Like, and here's how I do it. Spoilers for Uncharted if you haven't played it. Skip ahead. But like the whole idea of like him having a daughter and stuff, like he could be retired, daughter's doing stuff, and like either one, you could play as Nathan Drake's daughter, which I don't know if that's the way I'd go. But you have it where she gets in over her head, he has to come out of retirement. Like there we go. We've got
And
the
it's kind of a foolproof plan if you did that too, because if Ben works on it, and it's the daughter, is it Cassie Drake?
I believe so.
Is
Yeah.
it Cass?
Can't remember.
Like you have a game being centered around her. Maybe you do have a little bit of Nate in there,
Mm-hmm.
and if it doesn't get received that well, cool. Then okay, next time it's Naughty Dog, and it'll be fine. Like people will get over it immediately if Naughty Dog's doing a new Uncharted again. But if Ben starts doing it, Naughty Dog now has the freedom to go, okay, now we can start working on some other fun shit that we've been wanting to do,
Well-
and someone else can take the license off their hands for a bit so that they can focus on something else.
Well, the other thing too, though, is that like didn't Sony Ben make the Uncharted handheld game?
They did.
Yeah. So like I mean, it's not unheard of for them to make an Uncharted game.
Yeah, so it's not impossible, and it's also like it'd be a great idea because it takes since Naughty Dog is going to be busy with Intergalactic for quite a bit now, And that's not even assuming they decide to do anything else with the Last of Us license apart from a canceled game, right? So I think this would be a really smart thing to do, but it also, I mean, it could just be new IP that Ben's working on. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
I think like I'm partially in the sense of like I'd love to see something new again because Intergalactic looked really fucking interesting to me, and I say that as someone who, apart from Uncharted 4, hasn't like fully loved a lot of what Naughty Dog's pumped out. So, you know, I would love to see something different again, but at the same time, like, you've been hemorrhaging money. Maybe a safe bet here and there isn't a bad idea for Sony right now either to get kind of back on the good graces of people.
Speaking of safe money and safe bets, it's been almost 2 years since we've got an Astrobot game. Maybe that's something that's a quick turnaround, right? Like, because they actually did do it pretty fast as well. Because
what do you mean? They got to do at least like 2 more Speedrunner DLC just to piss you off.
No, but I mean, like in all seriousness, like because like we had the Astro's Playroom, which came out with the PS4, or sorry, with the PS5, and then a couple years later they came out with the Astrobot full game. So like, and I don't think like I'm not a game developer. I hope I'm not talking out of my ass here, but like, I don't think it's a hard game to make, right? Like it's
considering that they're not pushing anything like too crazily. I can't see like this is one of those games that I would not be surprised if you could pump out in a few years. But at the same time, it's also a case of okay, but do you want to space this out a little bit more?
No.
Or do they do something different to kind of accompany instead of just being the same thing over and over? Like maybe I just said it as a joke, but what if they did a kart racing game? Like what if, right?
I mean, they could, right? But like I think for me, like Astrobot. Sorry, Chris, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but like you do it fast, right? Like Astrobot's huge right now. We use that momentum. Like we're getting to the point where it's like, oh, we got a game this generation. Like we don't want to rush it out. Like we anticipate that 5-6 year turnaround time at least. But like, why not make it where you can have a new Astrobot every 2 years or something? Like hell, we got like all of Infamous in pretty much one generation. We got Killzone all in one generation.
That's just an industry thing now.
Uncharted 1 to 3. Yeah, because I was thinking, I wrote down here in my notes like an Astrobot paid DLC, like an expansion or something, like something pretty substantial. But I think I'm kind of now leaning towards your idea.
You could definitely
Kaylan,
make a case for an Astrobot too.
Yeah, because it's already 2 years old. So the expansion, like if this was a Witcher 3, yeah, people would be like, oh my God, yeah, more of that. But Astrobot, they may not sell as much. Like not everybody who bought Astrobot would necessarily grab an expansion, but you have Astrobot 2 or whatever the hell you would call it come out. All of a sudden, all those people who bought the first game are like, oh, whoa, there's a new one, right? That's probably a really good idea. And I'm not going to lie, the card idea too could be a throw-in. You think of all those PlayStation characters, but as bots, and they're all racing each other. Nathan Drake racing Kratos, but they're also little robots and like little PlayStation controllers racing. Come on,
with all the
that
different
is
power-ups, like you could have it's like again, you shrink really tiny and you're like suddenly weaving around like this sandcastle level kind of deal. Like,
here's
you
the
could do
thing,
some
though.
Funny stuff with this.
If it's Astrobot, you're not doing kart racing. You go like F-Zero route and you make it like all hover car stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, Sonic Racing, has the Transformer cars. So
no. Do not bring that in this conversation.
Diddy Kong Racing had multiple vehicles. You can do it.
I'm okay with that.
It's okay that the monkeys have cars, but just because he's a hedgehog?
It's not because he's a hedgehog. It's because he's so damn fast.
That's literal racism right there.
I think it's more speciesism, but okay.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, blue hedgehogs they have it bad. Yeah, I want more Astrobot. I'm not going to lie, out of the entire list here, the only one I put in all caps was more Astrobot. Like, I love Astrobot because it's like such a comfort food kind of game. So I hope Sony really is leaning on that as like a mascot franchise. It really could be the Mario type character for Sony, right? And they could make a fucking tennis game with it, or Astrobot golf or some shit, because everybody's golf.
Yeah, where is
recently,
the Mario golf equivalent with PlayStation?
Yeah,
it was.
No, that's not the same thing.
Nintendo wrote the rule book. You just follow it. Yeah,
because the only other like first party thing I can think of is like maybe something with Gran Turismo pops up again. Now the question ultimately would be on that front: is it just Gran Turismo 8, or do they? Because Forza's decided they're not doing motorsport anymore. Does maybe the Gran Turismo devs kind of look at this and be like, do we maybe get away from the simulation racing because it's not doing as strongly now, and maybe do we do something a little more unique as well?
Gran Turismo Horizon.
Like no, we're not even necessarily just going into the full on like festival stuff, but maybe try something futuristic. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Gran
Gran
Turismo
Turismo has to stay in the realm of like grounded. That's kind of its bread and butter. I don't.
But
we already
could those devs? I think it's
Polyphony, yeah.
Polyphia?
Polyphony. But the problem is that
Polyphony.
we already have a Forza Horizon on the PS5, and it's Forza Horizon.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Is like maybe you do something
true.
like it's futuristic instead, right?
Maybe.
Like I'm just thinking out loud. Like I know that all they've really done has ever been Gran Turismo, but like, is like how many people are still clamoring for just another Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, I could see, I feel like every state of play, the creator of Gran Turismo comes out and he's like, thank you all for playing. As a thank you, you're all going to receive this one car, and like, that's it. And like, they move
Like,
on from it.
I'm not going to sit there because I'm sure somebody
underwhelming.
could go in our comments and be like, well, look at the numbers of how many people. I'm like, I don't like the numbers don't mean anything to me at this point. It's like the relevancy of Gran Turismo has been nondescript for like since the PS2 generation to me, honestly. Like, I don't really know anybody that pays that much attention to Gran Turismo for the longest time. So, like, if it was me making these decisions, I'd be sitting there being like, okay, what can we do with this license, for lack of a better pun, that could really bring it back into the forefront again? Because Forza, just like, obviously Motorsport just wasn't doing it anymore, and Xbox ultimately decided that, you know what, let's just stick with what's working. Does Polyphony look at this and go, is there anything that we can do to maybe turn this up a dial and kind of like find our own niche, or are we just okay with this little bit that we've carved out? And if that's all they're good for, then that's fine. It's just, you know, at some point, if Sony kind of wants to get back into the racing game, I don't think another Gran Turismo is going to do anything at this point.
No.
Yeah, I don't see another Gran Turismo coming out this generation. I could see it maybe being a launch title for PS6 or a PS6.
Like, I think
Gran
we're at a
Turismo
point
8,
now
but
that like Gran Turismo 8 wouldn't mean nearly as much if a series like Midnight Club or Need for Speed Underground or Project Gotham Racing suddenly came back. I think people would even be more interested just to see what that is than another Gran Turismo at this point, just because it's just been the same thing for so long.
The only other game I could see coming to being presented is like, what's that one that's being made by Game Freak? That Japanese Game Freak game.
Reincarnation Beast something.
Beast
Yeah, I
of
can't
That one
remember
could show
what
up
it's
too.
called, but yeah. Yeah.
Because that one's supposed to be exclusive as well, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
I have no idea.
That's coming to
Okay,
Game
then it's not
Pass.
exclusive.
That's all I know. Yeah.
Let me take a look. Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah, it's for everything.
All right, well, there we go. It could still be there.
It could. They could
Like,
highlight
I didn't
it.
think too hard about third parties. The only thing I could think of is we probably I won't say it's a guarantee, but I think there's a solid chance that we finally hear about Final Fantasy VII Part 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
quite
could see that.
possibly Kingdom Hearts
They-
4,
there's
but
been a lot
I
in the
think
news.
it's that's the golden goose at this point. Not that I would care, because honestly, Kingdom Hearts at this point is just a joke. So like whatever trailer they'd show, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that sure looks like a Kingdom Hearts game, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
It's true. Adam, do you think the Final Fantasy IX remake, this could be...
Well, considering
It's
you know, it would
showing.
be really funny after hearing that. Oh no, it's not a thing anymore. That it just shows up now. I mean, I'm
that would
holding
be-
out.
that'd be
Although I think
genius.
it'd be more likely to be at Summer Game Fest, but I'm really holding out to finally get some Persona 6 news. To be honest.
I think we'll get more about the Persona 4 remake. I could actually see that being a part of this state of play,
Yeah.
honestly. Because it was announced at the Xbox showcase a couple years ago.
Well, they were
I
making
think.
a hard push to try
I
to
don't
get
even know
more
what
and
it
more of the
was called,
Japanese
but-
market, and they've quickly realized that Japan does not give a fuck about Xbox. So
No, they do not. No. Yeah, the only last first-party thing that I had written down that we didn't bring up was... I'm putting it out there. It's like definitely like a huge reach, but like Sony's going to bring back an old IP.
if it's
Like,
not Sly
I don't know
Cooper,
what it would be.
wanna
I don't know
hear
if it's Sly Cooper would be my number one for sure. But I mean, even just Wipeout, what else? Killzone,
Infamous.
Resistance. Like they, Infamous especially would be great. I would love that just as much as Sly Cooper, honestly. I'm just hoping for like something from as early as they can go back into their IPs.
It doesn't have to be like full on like here is the high budget crazy level stuff. Like no, like even if there was like a side scrolling Sly Cooper, like I think we'd all be like sick.
Yeah. God, I would even a remake of Legend of Dragoon or a sequel to Legend of Dragoon. Like they have so many games that or like IPs that they just have not done for so long. I could see even a what the heck is that called? Twisted Metal, like some sort of battle royale kind of free to play battle royale something. I don't know. So I'm hoping for some sort of.
All right, we're getting a Buzz trivia game. I'm going to lose my shit.
I mean that another one, yeah.
They finally bring out. You know what? Honestly, like it's kind of crazy that Jack and Daxter hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah, Jack and Daxter, 'cause that's Naughty Dog, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like Siphon Filter, I'm surprised they've never brought back at any point.
Siphon Filter.
I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head. I'm actually kind of
SOCOM would have done perfect for like a live service game.
SOCOM.
Yeah, although I think it's well, because Battlefield kind of really took some of that back. But then again, Tom Clancy games have not been what they used to be either, so there is an opening for SOCOM.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, there's only one we're going to find out.
Yeah,
come back next week, see how we did.
If you guys were to give like a prediction of like, you know, if you were going to give like a preemptive grade of what you think it's probably going to be, like where would you think this will probably land? Because I'm in like my ceiling at this is probably a B, and I think any higher than that is probably a stretch.
Yeah, I have a real problem when I go into the E3 season. I go in hoping everything's going to be an 8. I'm just so excited. It's mostly nostalgia for when it used to always hit like an 8. But you know what? I'm going to throw it out an 8. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to go that like just hitting that A grade there because I'm more hoping for it than truly thinking it will be. But still.
For me on the color grade spectrum, because we've gotten letters and numbers, I'm going to put it as a magenta.
Perfect.
That's a C, right?
You know, it's hard to translate, but you know, it's not a one-for-one comparison.
If I watch this and at the end I'm like, oh my god, Kaylan
this is a magenta.
Was a magenta.
If there's a game that actually comes out and it's called Magenta, it's gonna be like, oh my god, Kaylan's an insider and he never told us.
Yeah. I've been dropping clues and breadcrumbs the last 5 years. No one's found them. Well,
you know what? We'll also be ready when somehow Sony for some reason is the one that announces your Splinter Cell remake. So.
Oh, imagine
Splinter Cell Magenta. All right. It's now Sam Fisher has a daughter and she's got pink hair and it's all right. All right, let's go.
He's always had a daughter, Sarah.
It's another daughter. Secret daughter.
Also, Samantha Fisher with pink magenta hair.
It's like what they did with Perfect Dark Zero, where like Joanna Dark's hair was just like, all right, now it's like punk hair colors, and we're like, okay. I don't know why a spy would do that, but okay.
To be more visible, obviously.
I mean, it's no better than James Bond, who goes around telling everyone his spy name. Anyways,
that's true.
Any last thoughts, or are we good here?
We're good. I can't wait for James Bond tomorrow.
I think we're good.
Just quickly look at my list. Did I miss anything? Yeah. Nope. I the third party stuff. I have no idea. Like it's so hard to predict that stuff because like anything could be here, but then also could be Xbox, but then also could be Summer Game Fest, but then also could just do its own thing. Like we don't know, right? So
yeah, there will be anime third party or third person action game.
Wait, has this? Okay,
there will be many
check one
of
last
that.
thing. Has that fucking 7 Deadly Sins game come out yet? Is it out yet? Please, is it out? Can this fucking thing please be out so it goes the fuck away off of trailers? It released in March. Thank fucking Christ. All right, so that's done. So that takes that off the list. So now there'll be at least like 3 solo leveling games now. So
yeah, bunch of anime, probably a mech or two.
I mean, look, if they want to, if Kojima wants to come back and make like Zone of the Enders on PlayStation, I'm down.
That'd be pretty cool.
But yeah. We shall see, and I will be streaming that on Tuesday. I don't know if Chris, you're gonna be able to make that or not. Okay,
I will.
So we're going to suffer together. But yeah, we'll be streaming both Tuesday and Friday for State of Play and Summer Game Fest. I'm not going to be able to do Xbox. I will be busy on the Sunday. Like I said, there's a shot that I might do a recording in the evening and then put it up either right away as soon as I can or just throw it up in the morning. We'll see. But I do at least plan on doing something because I don't want to get spoiled on that, so I'd love to be able to react to that as well. But the streams will definitely be those two things. So that's going to do it. Side quest this Friday is going to be Chris and I doing our character design top 5. We're doing Fire Emblem this time around. So, more of Kaylan's favorite, JRPGs, perfect. I don't know. How do we get Kaylan into the waifu baits? I don't know what we do.
Good luck.
And then Saturday, I will be streaming. I just haven't decided on what that's going to be yet, but I'll find some sort of game. We finished the Bouncer. I got to find another game that either I haven't beaten in forever or a game that I've just never finished before, so I'll have to find something.
Yeah. Watching you play through the Bouncer and remembering how ridiculous the story of that game is, holy crap.
There is no story in the Bouncer. It is just a collection of ideas
bouncing a bar
that just they've shoehorned together like that one meme of the guy with like all the red strings across the board and be like, yeah, that's our story.
You're bouncing in a bar, and then all of a sudden you're fighting a girl who can turn into a panther, and then you go to space. It's
in like
a very
2
normal
hours,
day.
too. The game is 2 hours long. Like I said, there's no story. It's just a collection of plot points smooshed together, and hopefully it works, and it doesn't.
Well, it was a great 2 hours.
Yeah,
for me, I didn't have to play
I'll find something good like that again for Saturday, so we'll see about that. But otherwise, you guys, thank you so much for checking out this episode. So you guys know the drill. YouTube, like that video, subscribe to the channel for more content. Our quest to 500 subs is getting closer, which means that that chocolate episode is getting nearby. There's that carrot on the stick. Also, on any audio platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to them, if you can give us a rating, do so there. Otherwise, you guys, share it. Share it with everybody. Come on. Clearly, this is the best show. I mean, duh.
It is. I know
it's so good that Chris can't even bear to stay on it for long enough before his computer kicks him off it. So, but anyways, that's gonna do it for us. So take care. Bye bye for now.